Hello children, in our last video we have explained till page number 16, okay, second paragraph. Now the explanation which is in page number 16, 17 and page number 18 I'll be telling you. Alright, in this very 3 pages it is told that the time traveler says as he was thinking and looking at the creatures of the people of the future, okay, and when he wanted to return back he sees that time machine is not in its original place or it was not seen there. He thinks that machine is there only at that time because he has taken out the handle. Then he asked a few of them about his machine but did not come to know where it is. He thinks that his time machine is inside the Sphinx statue, that is the statue that is there. All right, Sphinx statue, but he is not able to reach there. Now he thinks that whatever he has thought of these creatures, he feels doubtful and thinks, who makes their clothes, shoes? There were no machines or factories around, and these creatures were not so intelligent that they will be doing this work by themselves. After that, he says that after some time he saves one of the creatures among them from drowning. And she was very thankful for this, and her name was Veena. And then he sees 2 white ape-like creatures. White ape-like creatures. Okay. 2 white ape-like creatures among them from drowning, and she was very thankful. She sees, and then he sees 2 white ape-like creatures from whom these were called Alloy and called Morlocks, and then thinks that the human creatures are divided into 2 and the ape-like creatures run from the place and go down to the earth. He thinks these 2 may be the people living before those are rich and poor in early times. Poor went down to the hard labor, and those who were left up, they used to control them. Those living up were Alloy, and those who went down were called Morlocks. Clear? Now, to bring the time machine, he wanted to go to the world. Which very world? To the world of Morlocks. Then he comes down to the well. There he finds several Morlocks who were eating flesh, and then he sees his matches are finished, and now the Morlocks started attacking him, and he starts running up again to the land. He thinks whether these Morlocks have started eating the Alloy at night or what they are eating, and so these Alloys are afraid at night. Or maybe sometimes Morlocks might have gone below the land to work, and working hard they must have become stronger, and these Alloy those are remained powerless. He thought they must have not liked his going to the world, and now he started finding a safe place for himself. He now wanted some weapons. He now remembers a place of green porcelain. Okay, the place of green porcelain, that is in right. Now what happened? He finds it as he was roaming. He wanted to go and stay there. He now takes Veena there along with them. He then comes to know that it was once a museum that is destroyed. There he finds more matches. He finds some matches. He finds some camphor, that is kapoor, and liver, which he uses as a weapon. He can use as a weapon. Then he sees Veena is afraid. When he sees right side of the hall, he finds the sound of Morlocks again, and then both of them started running from the place. As they ran from the museum, and reached the jungle again, the sound of Morlocks again came there. It was night, and to save them from Morlocks, he lights fire, that is fire with camphor, that is kapoor, as Morlocks were afraid with the light. Time traveler starts moving with Veena again from there and suddenly finds him surrounded by Morlocks. Clear? Again he lights fire to save from Morlocks, and he is tired now and he sleeps there. After getting up, he finds he was caught by the Morlocks there. With the help of liver, he kills a few Morlocks. Suddenly, few Morlocks starts running, and he finds while entering into the jungle, when they had entered the jungle, he found that he had lit the fire, and that very fire was now spreaded all over there. A lot of fire was spreaded over, and now he is not able to see Veena anyway. He now started running after the Morlocks, thinking that they were running to be at a safe place, or they were running to a safe place, and reaches to a small hilly area where due to the fire Morlocks were not able to see anything. Time traveler walks there beside the hills, finding steps of Veena, but she is now not alive. Whole night time traveler was tensed and wanted this dream to finish, and in the morning, he started towards the the Sphinx to find his time machine again. As he reaches there, he sees a statue was open inside. The statue of the Sphinx that was open inside. Okay. And he finds his time machine was there. As he reaches there, he sees the statue was open, and inside that the time machine of his was there. Then he smiles. He then comes to know the whole thing, what the Morlocks were thinking of it. He then goes inside, and the statue closes as he thought of it. Time traveler thinks to lit matches, but he sees that he does not have anything to lit it. Morlocks started attacking him, and with great difficulty he puts the lever in the machine and pulls it forward. This very machine now he pulls again forward and goes to the future. While traveling, he sees that the rotation of the earth is stopped. The rotation of the earth is stopped. It is motionless. And the shine of the sun is also lessened. The shine of the earth is also lessened. Then, and has the sun has become now red. Whole world seemed to be frozen. Okay. And quite as if everything is finished. Then he reaches to a beach where there was sea water was motionless. Sea water was the water of the sea was motionless. And there was a crab. You can see there was a crab, that is kekda. Okay, that was like a giant, attacked him, and again the traveler moves from there. And thousands of years, again the traveler goes forward. Then time traveler stops after 30 million years, and then he sees that above the stones there were green marshy land. The air was thin there, and sees the sky becomes dark. He is now tired and is not well. And in the sea, something like ball jumping. Like, okay, you can see here. Something was here and was jumping. You can see. Okay. Now, what happened? When he sees that something was jumping, and there was black blob tentacles, black spots and tentacles, something. And now time traveler sits in his time machine and returns back to his time and in his lab. his feet is now paining and he is now getting the smell of tasty food. Okay, again reaches back and is getting that smell of tasty food. Again the story starts, oh, with the same time where he is tired and he sees his guest, but tells his guest when he tells his guest about the whole story and says tells his guest whatever has happened with him. He knew that they may be thinking of it as if while talking his eyes caught hold of white flowers kept on the table. He knew that maybe the guests are not they are not means what to say, they thought the guest may be thinking that he's telling lie. Okay, the whole story was told, tells his guest about the whole story and says his guest whatever they may be thinking of it. They can think whatever you want to think, you can think. And while talking his eyes caught hold of white flowers kept on the table. Among the guests there was a medical man who asked him that can I take flower to examine, those flowers to examine. Okay, when he was asked from where did he get these flowers, and then the time traveler says that Veena had kept it in his pocket while traveling. Again he is tired, and to check whether he has traveled or not, he goes to the time machine and finds that it was not a dream but it was true. All the guests went from the place that day, and the narrator, who did not believe now also in the time traveler, the narrator was confused and goes again to time traveler's home and is told that he is in the lab. This way time traveler is again in the lab. Time traveler meets the narrator, who knew the reason of his coming there. Okay, he tells if he waits, he may give him all the essential requirements which will prove that really he has traveled the time. That is, he will give the saboot, you will say, that is, he has traveled the time. Again time traveler sits in his machine to travel time, but he is confused whether he may return back, because since 3 years narrator was waiting for him. Since 3 years, it means that the time traveler has traveled for not less than 3 years. You can see in the last line it has been 3 years since he isn't back. Means for 3 years, after 3 years he has been back to the place, and again he is about to go. And now this time again time traveler sits in his machine to travel time, but he is confused whether he may return back, because since 3 years narrator was waiting for him. And then the narrator says, I do not know whether traveler returns or not. Did he return to past or future? He only knows that he has 2 white flowers of that time. That tells he has traveled. The narrator tells that I don't know about the time. I don't know about the time traveler, whether the whole story told by him is right or not. But I only know this thing, that what the time traveler is telling was indeed the fact or not, but the fact what was seen in front of the narrator, what the narrator saw were the 2 white flowers which were brought by the time traveler while he was traveling. After traveling, he has brought 2 white flowers, tells he has traveled. And the story tells, the narrator tells about the story, that he tells whether memory is finished. Everything is finished, but love does not finishes. Okay? Thank you.